All right, welcome back to Saiyan Collects TCG. I'm Rampam, of course, and I want to share with you something that I started using over the last month or so. It is called DeckTradr. I have zero affiliation with them other than me creating this little code. They didn't reach out to me. I didn't reach out to them. I just actually genuinely like this, and I'm putting together this little series, if you haven't already told, between our shipping methods and how to ship and best practices for shipping. This is what I like to use genuinely when it comes to doing a couple of different things. So number one, how to quickly get a very broad overview of the value of a card. This will tell you what market price is, and with just a couple clicks, you can see what last solds are, what lowest listed is, direct links into TCG, which I really like. This will quickly scan cards. So as I prep for my high value singles cards, and I have yoink, this giant stack of cards to go through, I don't have to type and click every single one of them into TCG Player. And you'll see, I'll give a live demonstration of it actually going through and scanning these cards to help me organize on what I considered high value versus low value that we can just go ahead and dollar start. Aside from that, I did share below, so you can clearly see. So if you're watching this on your TV, you can take out your phone, scan this. It is saying collects TCG, use that QR code. It gets you 2 free weeks on the pro membership. I'll show you the exact membership I have. I'll show you exactly why I use it, why I think you should use either the free or the $5 or the $20, whatever one. I don't really care. It's your money. Do what you want. I'm just telling you what I do to make my life a lot easier. The best part about this whole thing is that they have a bunch of CSV files that work between eBay, Shopify, and I customize my own for whatnot as well. So it's very easy when it comes to scanning and getting an idea of a collection. It also helps you comp out cards if you're at a convention and you want to be able to sit down there and you don't have to bring a laptop and just go through this. You got a really good idea of what the comps are on these cards. If you're a psychopath like me, you have a rough idea in your brain, but this just gives you another layer of protection, especially with Dragon Ball. It's going up and down every single day. So I want to give you a live demo, let you know the good things, the bad things, the good, the bad, the ugly, all that good stuff. And it's pretty simple. So you got to download the app. Step one, makes sense. I am screen sharing my actual phone. So if you see a pop-up, you have to. Dragon Ball Fusion World. What's cool about this, and I do use this to be able to just kind of click through, get an idea of rough estimates. Now, these are some of the most inflated numbers you'll see with Story Booster coming out just 24 hours ago with our rough live dates, but at least gives you an idea of what's going on with those comps. So it's pretty interesting and intuitive from that standpoint. $900 for the 2-star, I'll take that all day. So anyways, what I want to focus on is this middle button, which is our collection. Now, as you can see, I don't actually have a $17,000 collection. What this is a bunch of high values in the past that I use, and I kind of rinse and repeat it when I download my CSV because I'm doing customization anyway. I take a quick inventory. I remove and I delete what I don't need. I'm just leaving this here for the sake of it. But for someone like me who's just churning and burning through inventory, I would clear out this collection and move on. But I still have a couple of these cards and I have to do some maintenance. Anyways, it's pretty simple. I'm going to take my stack of cards. I'm just going to take a handful of them. And inside of my collection, you'll see on the very, very top, the little icon that gives you the opportunity to be able to click in a camera. And when that camera pops up, you can see, obviously, you guys have this Inception-like view of what's happening. In my case, I'm just going to show off a couple of these random cards that we're going to be checking these comps at. And what's nice about this is the absolute fastest I've ever run into and the most accurate when it comes to being able to scan in your card. So if I come in here, I just got to make sure the card is still within this little green barrier that you see here in front of you. What's nice about this is you can still do this inside of the top loader. So a lot of times people will come with me with their collections. They'll have them all on top loaders, or they'll have them in a binder behind the little plastic. I just pick this up and I can easily, quickly go and scan and get a good idea. All right. So in my scenario, all I have to do, and you should be able to read it on your screen, is fill the frame with the card and then just tap the screen. Simple as that. This is an $81 card. This is good for my high value card. And essentially, I'm going to go through this entire process one at a time as I read through it. Oh, couldn't pick up that card. No problem. I'll give it a different angle. There you go. High value card. high value card. And this is it. Chat. It's that simple. This is the most accurate one I've run into. Now, there are some cards that I've run into energy markers, some of the energy markers. It gives it a little bit of a challenge, but look at that. $23, not into high value. 56, sure, I'll put that in the high value. This should be around 75 to 80. Market price. Look at that. What a change. Chat, and we just go through this process. Now, imagine you can go through this fast. How many collections when you're at a convention, when you're out at a trade night, do you think you can go through, quickly comp, and actually be able to purchase? If I was sitting down on my laptop, that's the most overinflated price I've ever seen, but not at high value. If I am sitting down at my laptop, to go through this would be absolutely daunting. And then have to list them individually onto Whatnot, in my case, or eBay, would be just shameful. A shameful waste of time. Now, what's interesting about this too is last night I did a bunch of recordings. Maybe you've seen them, maybe you didn't. We did a bunch of story time sleeves. What's interesting about this is if I go to register them, don't get registered. So considering story came out literally in the last 24 hours, these can't get picked up yet. I mean, it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers, right? But hopefully that's something as this app continues to grow and expand that they're able to address. Like, hey, we're going to give it to you. If it shows in the other tab where you can actually go through all the cards themselves, I think you should be able to scan, even if it's an inflated price. All right, next little stack that we have here. Again, I get it at a good angle. Give it a little tap, 50 bucks, sure. There's a red manga. People love those. Spark Blend, little booty. 250, 97. Now, what's interesting about this is giving you a market price, but as you know, especially with Dragon Ball, sometimes market price might be really high, market price might be really low. Maybe it's a very sought after card. Check this one, $1, or I'm sorry, the 1 star. Very sought after card, and market might be higher or market might be lower than what lowest listed or last solds are. 1 second. Last little stack. So it's just something to keep in mind as you go through this. I mean, check this out. Look at that gold. It picked up the gold version of that starter deck. Crazy. Vegeta, Shallot. Look at that. Bonus pack alt art. Let's see if this energy marker gives me trouble. Energy marker, that's not a high value. And even through, I put this one specifically in to join here. Even through a ridge, semi-ridge holder, we're still picking it up. So it doesn't really matter how that card is being scanned. Now, once I have this in here, it's pretty nice. If you look in the bottom, I have a couple of options here. I can choose whether these are near mint or any other subgrade to that. They do have grades in here for slabs. I don't think that's available yet, but I don't really scan too much. So maybe you, when you download this and you use our free 2 weeks, you want to put in your slabs and just kind of get a good idea of what they're valued at, because you want to try and convince me to buy for more than 25% market. Maybe you can try it out. In here, you can also look at comps very quickly. So if you look at a price and you're like, whoa, that card, I don't understand. I've seen this card all day. Why is the market price putting it at whatever, 150 bucks? I buy and sell these at 75. You can quickly go in here and take a look at what's happening. And if you don't trust these numbers, you just click right into ECG player. Very, very quickly, you can go in there and see, okay, 84, 85 bucks. Sure, I see the market price 87, but now I really want to look at the data. Okay, that looks like an 80-something dollar, right? So it gives you very, very, very easy access. And look, I'm right back at my collection. That if I go through these and I kind of see something that doesn't really stick out the way I want it to, I can be able to adjust it. I hit review those 50. Again, I can go through here. I say, yeah, these all look good. Whoa, I'm sorry. Did the energy marker on this one, did that pick up as near mint? I thought you showed me the condition, Johnny, and it's not near mint. I thought it was lightly played, and then you can adjust it. right? So it's pretty fascinating when it comes to what you can do. Or maybe you realize, oh man, I accidentally put, because I think I actually did. I know I have 2 of these Vegetas. Maybe you scanned in an extra card. Hey, did you scan that? I thought I did. I can fix it in a minute. Well, now I can go to that Vegeta GT alt art, hit that X, and that bad boy's gone. Simple as that, right? I'm going to hit add to my collection. It's added into my collection. Now, what's really cool about my collection, as I go through here, is you can select multiple cards if you want to delete them, you want to check them out, add them to your wish list. There's a ton of stuff that you can do here. It's actually pretty interesting. You want to change your filters. Listen, this is all stuff that you can do on your own, in your own time, as you use that QR code below. Rampant is actually pretty cool. What's nice about this too, if you have the Pro, which is what I use this only because I think it's kind of interesting. I don't do this because, if you know me, I don't have a sealed collection. I literally have 1 card in my PC for Dragon Ball. So I like to add a couple random cards in here to keep track of them. I do, again, have to clean this up, but it's pretty interesting to see how the market has been fluctuating. You can see analytics behind this. So market movers, grading plays. I think inside of here, yes, it does. There you go. It has an AI centering tool that you can use. Now, me personally, I do not use this. It is part of the Pro membership, but because Dragon Ball already grades so well, Bandai makes them so well, and RamFam released a video on how to prep your cards for BGS and really any grading, you should be able to do this on your own. But maybe you have a high value, maybe you're on a tight budget, maybe you want a second opinion. Well, with DeckTradr, you can actually do that. Scan a card. I never used it, and I'm not going to. What's cool is, you make a little profile, add your little photo, do whatever you want to do. So these are some of the big things that I like to do with it inside of the app. Now, what other options I have in here, and let me just pull up real quick. I'm going to change some things around for you, chat. Don't go away. What's really interesting too, let me bring myself down a little bit. What's really interesting here too, so I just uploaded this. I hit refresh. I have these cards inside of here. Let me zoom this in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Alexa, off. That's my reminder. What's cool about this is inside of here, just like I can do inside of my actual app, I can do on desktop as well. Some of the things that I like to do when it comes to my actual collection, if you scroll down here where you see collection, wish list, sets, custom binder pages, a bunch of stuff that I'll never use that maybe you find useful. And this can apply to Dragon Ball, to One Piece, to Pokemon, whatever TCG that they support, plug it in here. I personally think this is better than the collector app. I'm going to try and lean and use this a little bit more when I'm buying collections and talk about it a little bit more. But in either case, all the way to the right side, you'll see a couple of different tabs here. You can share your collection a lot easier than you can with collector, which is awesome, because I literally had to copy and paste the steps in my Facebook chats, and I saved it as a custom message. So now I just use it as a default. Hey, you don't know how to? Here you go. And what's cool in here, this little export button. This is what's really helpful when it comes to actually setting up a Shopify store, your eBay store, your whatnot. I actually like to use a combination of a couple of these, and I'll show you why. But what's cool about the TCG, so if you have a TCG player, I have a TCG player. I cannot, by the life of me, find the time to want to do that. But all this small bulk stuff that you are ripping and that you're just kind of tossing away and giving away, and you want to make a couple bucks a month, TCG player is not that hard to understand. It's pretty easy to get signed up. And now you have an easy way to be able to upload your card. I mean, you just saw it, right? You sit there, blah, blah, blah. You turn on Netflix, which ironically I had on, and then you just sit here and you're just loading in your cards. So I like to use a combination of them between Shopify, eBay, and the standard CSV file. You can list this into Square. What's really cool about this, look at that. There's a pricing percentage. So if you want to know how much a percent you want to give at that card, so if you know you buy it 70%, when you download this, It could add that in there as well. Pretty awesome. It does take into account any fees that you might pay. List it to Square if you use Square. That's pretty interesting. I'm not going to export this because I've already exported them. What's really nice about this, and I use a combination, like I said, of the CSV and the Shopify. I make my little templates. This is the raw data that it gives you. If this looks like a lot of information to you, it's because it is. It's essentially all of the data that was pulled for that card. So when people come into my stream and they say, hey, Ram, do you have F blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, I have no freaking idea. You can now type it in exactly as you could find it. FB10 123, perfect. Now you can find it inside of your search. You have all your cards in here. And what's cool about this is I also take, so wait, hang on. This one's a Shopify one. This one I'm looking at is Shopify. The reason why I take the Shopify one is because I'm able to steal the links for their photos. So it's easier for me when I go back in to update my photos. I have a very easy reference to that card itself. The CSV file that gives me the normal standard CSV that I like to build my whatnot version off of is right here. And it's pretty interesting. It gives you the card, the number, the set, everything that you might need. I use a little bit of AI to combine certain cells together. It gives you the market price, which again, market price is a little bit different. So if you remember 2 or 3 outliers, you can go in here and say like, hey, this is actually isn't 170. It's actually 150. And now I can take that 150 across all of those cards. And then when I export this or download it and upload it into whatnot, it reflects the proper price that I want to put it. So it's super easy from that aspect. I do want to show you real quick some of your options. Listen, you can get a lot of this stuff already for free, right? So the full card database, unlimited scanning, like I showed you, collecting items, portfolios. You can have up to 2 binders. I don't see the benefits of binders. I don't know. You can connect with friends at school, live prices, 0. So you can just get this and just have it for $0. You can get the $5.99, which will give you some more benefits. You can read it down there below. I think the biggest part to this is the CSV aspect. So if you sell or you want to sell, that's a huge part of this. I actually go with the Pro myself. There's a lot more in there. You can actually see, let me see. So you get a vendor POS, which I want to use when I go vending at shows, full financial tracker. There are event management stuff, some AI stuff that I was like, okay, whatever. Priority support. It's $20 that I spend a month. In the grand scheme of things, from a business expense, what it allows me to do is pretty incredible. And then the team one, where it's just, you're kind of really expanding out from there. So whether it's free, $6 or $20 a month, I think it is very much worth it. I will also drop the link itself. So if you are not watching this on your TV screen, but rather your phone while you drive, and you're like, Ram, that's actually kind of interesting. I wouldn't mind trying that out for 2 weeks on Pro. There you go. Invite by saying collects TCG. I'll drop this in the description, and that way you have a clear way to be able to download the app and start using it. There's a lot more things inside of this app than what I was showing you, chat. And it's pretty interesting as you go through here and you start to kind of play around with it. If you want to take a look at this, I would highly recommend using this. Use our QR code, whatever the heck this thing is called, our affiliate link, so that you yourself can continue to support Ram Fam. And let me know what you think. This is what I actually use when it comes to comping out my cards. Get out of here, POS system. I don't want you right now. It's a great way to be able to look at what's happening in the market as well. So just like you see on my screen, if I want to see what's Rival Clash looking like, what's my top hit, I want to see it inside of TCG. Super easy. The scanning is the absolute money part for me. I love it. I've tried probably 6 or 7 other ones, and they all suck. They don't pick up the cards. No one puts respect on Dragon Ball, but now they actually have. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of feedback to them of more improvements, more things we want to do, right? So if you are like me and you want to use this, definitely use the affiliate link, but also share feedback with them. I've already messaged them about 2 other things that I wanted to see in here. They're like, yeah, it's a great idea. We're going to put that. We're going to talk about that and put that on the road. I would recommend it, chat. Check this out. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do decide to download this, use our affiliate links, DM me, let me know. Tell me what you see. There's probably 50 more things that you can do in here that I didn't review. I'm just showing you what's best for me, and we'll see you tomorrow.